We are working in Buyikwe district, where Chitigoma is. Here people access water from open wells. They access water from springs, from rivers and lakes. They lack money to buy firewood to boil drinking water. They don't have that money, or to buy charcoal. Charcoal is very expensive here.
According to the survey we took, members of a family go down to water-related illnesses 3 to 4 times a year. The most affected being the little ones, the children, and who miss a lot of school and other opportunities because of that time when they are ill, people losing their lives due to mostly typhoid and cholera when there is cholera outbreaks.
We're headed to Elmira next, where a local engineering company is making a big difference, providing clean water to the people of Sudan.
Out of all the wells in the county, half of them have E. coli bacteria, and more than half the people in the hospital are there because of water-related illness. We have a mold out of steel, and then we make a cement filter, and you fill it full of gravel and sand, and you grow naturally occurring bacteria in there that eat the other bacteria.
I'd done some relief work in other places, like earthquake relief and stuff, but if I didn't do it, somebody else would. Whereas in South Sudan, there was nobody involved at that time. So I went with the team, and when I inquired about the orphanage that we were helping, the Widows Association was walking 3 miles to the nearest well. So I brought a biofilter so they could treat the creek water instead. So a couple years later, 2006, we were expanding the orphanage, and a group came and said, can you teach us how to build the filters? So then we brought in a trainer from Cost, and we taught 17 students how to build a biofilter, and we hired the 4 best students to start the project. So do you remember one of your young students was Matthew?
Oh, absolutely. Matthew was a rock star even then. He was young and enthusiastic, and now in northern Uganda, right? Like, he took this information and this technology that he learned about in Kaji, and, you know, basically when they had to leave South Sudan, he goes into northern Uganda and implements it, because that skill is transferable no matter where he goes.
Of recent, we were able to train one group from Jinja who wanted also to start up the water filtration system, and that training was so effective. They like it, and after the training also we went with them to the site, guide them and instruct them how to set up their construction place and how to market their products. And it was so exciting and so encouraging to me that we are impacting communities, and we are also providing knowledges to communities that are long-lasting.
It was a good training. We thank God our technicians have been able to start and putting together these units. Our health units, that is the community sensitizers, have been all around this area of Chitigoma and sensitizing the community, the masses, on the advantages of using these water filters to cleanse their water. So there is need and there is interest.
Those who got it are really supporting us to sensitize even other people around, like their neighbors. We've had testimonies from different homes whereby they are reporting a decrease in typhoid spread. So to us, it's a milestone. I was in a bad situation drinking that water. Some young boys came to me and asked me where we get our drinking water. And we told them that we get drinking water from a spring, and it is very far. In this same spring, it's where even cows drink water from. And they told me that they have a filter which they can give at a fair price. And I told them I didn't have money because I had lost my son who would help me access that filter. But they told me that there is someone who paid for a filter, and I'm required to pay just a small amount of money. I was really excited. I would also be accessing clean and safe water for drinking. I'll be well without suffering from waterborne diseases. My husband, my children, my grandchildren will be free from waterborne diseases. I was very happy to receive a filter, and I glorify God and thank God for that day.
I'm so glad that Jesus set me free. I'm so glad that Jesus set me free. Singing glory, hallelujah, that Jesus set me free. I'm so happy, I gotta feel so.
2014 was the first time that I traveled to South Sudan with the Enviro Stewards team. When I traveled there and I saw the impact that biosand water filters and safe water have on people's lives, that was a defining moment for me, knowing that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. My wife and I nearly lost our daughter to waterborne illness when she was 10 months old. And we built this entire brand, and the reason for this brand to exist is to be able to fund clean water and safe water projects such as the one we're running here in Uganda. When somebody pays a little bit, a small part, into that filter, which is heavily subsidized through corporate partnerships, they take a lot of pride in having that filter, and they take care of that filter. It means so much to them. They can take pride that the health of their family is something that they have been able to put forward.
We're blessed with so much that, how do we share what we have? And the best way, you might think it's an engineering problem, but it's not. It's a training and capacity building, teaching. So the most important thing we do is actually teaching, not engineering. We were a tiny, tiny company. And so we did not have the resources to do a conventional approach, which worked out even better because then we had to do a business approach. So it's slower, it takes longer to get going, but it's much stronger. So 100% of the staff, 100% of the board is all local. That way you have the resiliency. The Ginger Project has done a market assessment, a business plan, the technical training, the sales training, how do you run a business, all without us, because those skills have been transferred. And that's really the key, right, is to work yourself out of a job. One of my favorite photos is of Daria from Juba teaching Amale how to make biofilters in Yei. And we didn't teach Daria.
Right. That ripple carries on. It ripples out all the way to Yei and all the way to Juba. And you don't know that when you start, but you believe it will happen, and it does.